absolute vessel. Now, which substances are dissolved in the blood plasma? Which substances are dissolved in the blood plasma? So which substances there? What will be the correct answer in the blood plasma? Yasha, what do you think? Blood plasma, we talked about.
Glucose, hormones, and urea. See.
Glucose, hormones, and urea. Why is, okay, that's correct. Huh? See, oxygen is wrong, huh? Because oxygen, remember, goes to the red blood cells. Huh? It's a gas, it can be dissolved. Huh? Then starch is also wrong because starch is digested. Huh? In the small intestine, it's now glucose. Huh? It can only be absorbed in the blood as well as glucose. Clear now? So the correct answer. Now let's go to number 2. Which of the chambers of the heart has got the thickest wall? That has got 4 chambers. Huh? Which one is the thickest? Then that's what I've forgotten.
I'm not sure, sir.
Wow. The heart. The heart, which side of the heart pumps oxygenated blood? The side that pumps oxygenated blood, remember it pumps to the artery, so it has to be under high pressure. So it's the side that will be thick, is the left side of the heart. So it's the left ventricle is the thickest. Because it pumps oxygenated blood to the aorta, then the aorta, so it has to be under high pressure. Yeah? So we need to know those things. Huh? Now look at this. You see which side is thicker? This side. So this is the left what? Ventricle. Huh? Before we answer the question, we need to be good at looking at the heart and parts of the heart. Huh? This is the right ventricle. Clear? Look at your diagram there. This is the septum here. We said it separates the 2 chambers. Huh? Septum.
Yes, sir.
This is the right what? Atrium. Sorry, atrium. This is the left atrium. It's not difficult. Then the valves, you need to know them. But now the question is saying, the diagram shows the human heart and some blood vessels connected to it. Before the blood in W reaches zeta, reaches this. So we know that this blood is deoxygenated. Huh? Clear? It's coming from the vena cava. Clear? Which comes from muscles. Huh? All veins join to the vena cava, brings deoxygenated blood. This contrast pushes the blood into the ventricle. Clear? Then the ventricle, because it's deoxygenated, I'm explaining things that are in us, it has to push the blood to the pulmonary what? Pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery takes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Are we together? In the lungs, gaseous exchange takes place. Carbon dioxide goes out. Oxygen comes in, combines with the hemoglobin there, forms oxygenated blood. Now it comes through the pulmonary vein, very easy, to the what? To this, huh? Clear, sorry. It comes through this. Huh? Clear now?
Yes, sir.
We need to know all that sequence. Huh? So before blood it gains what? It gains oxygen. Huh? So let's see what they're talking about here. Reaches in W, reaches Z. Gain glucose, gain heat, passes through the capillaries. Are we together? Because under the alveoli there's capillaries. Huh? Clear? So it passes through the capillaries. Which blood vessel has got the higher concentration of carbon dioxide, low concentration of oxygen, and a high blood pressure? Good question. High blood pressure. What did you say about the difference between artery and in terms of blood pressure? Artery and veins? Who remembers? Arteries and veins. Which one is blood pumped under high pressure? Which ones between arteries and veins is blood pumped under high pressure? If you check your notes that you wrote, that maybe means you're not reading. Which one is blood pumped under high pressure? Nyasha, what did we say? Which one? Between the veins and the arteries, where is blood pumped under high pressure? What is the difference anyway between the veins and the arteries? Without looking at your notes, you should be reading. Huh? You need to read. What's the difference? Because I gave you all the difference. What's the difference between the arteries and the veins? Any difference that you can think of from what you learned? Nyasha, Tanaswa? Should be singing that now. What's the difference between the arteries and the veins? So you can't remember any of the difference.
Arteries carry blood-rich oxygen, and veins, what is it called?
Sorry?
Veins. Hello?
I can't hear you. Yes, what are you saying?
Arteries transport what is called oxygenated blood as what is called veins. As to veins which
Okay,
transport.
but now what you are saying is not complete. It's very important what I said there. I said arteries carry oxygenated blood, but I said there was one. What did I say? What is the exception? I said there's one exception, except what? Tanaswa. I said all arteries carry oxygenated blood, except what? There is one artery that does not carry oxygenated blood. So he wrote notes, but he didn't read it. Except pulmonary artery. Because pulmonary artery carry deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. Except pulmonary artery. Then I said the veins carry, like what you were saying, carry deoxygenated. That is by way to read. If you don't read, you will be lost. Deoxygenated blood except pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. From the lungs, back to the heart. Except pulmonary vein. That's what we said. Then I said, what's the statement that all veins carry blood towards the heart? That's what I said. Towards the heart. Then I said, these ones, they carry blood away from the heart. But it's there. I gave you that. Which means you're not reading. Then there is something else that I mentioned. I said this. So if I was to draw the diagrams there, if you are doing further studies, you see that you get something like this here. And you get something that looks like this. So these ones have got a small, these are arteries, small lumen. These ones have got a large lumen. What's the reason? Blood is transported under high pressure in all arteries. So what you're talking about here, when they say high blood pressure, it means it's an artery, this is an artery, this is an artery, this is a vein, this is a vein out. Clear now. because high blood pressure, all arteries carry blood under high pressure, so they've got this lumen, large lumen. Then they have got a thick elastic fiber, arteries. I gave you, to withstand high pressure. Blood will be under high pressure. These ones have got a thin lumen because the blood is under low pressure. Then they must have valves because when blood is under, otherwise you die, is to prevent backflow of blood. We don't want blood. Look at this. Yes, I have got a pipe like this. Think of this. If water is flowing here under low temperature and I'm trying to go up, won't the water go back in the hose pipe? It will go bigger. So that's what you're talking about here. Because remember, it's taking to your body, the rest of your body, or maybe to. So because of that, to prevent backflow of blood, these have got valves because blood is being pumped under low pressure. There is no need for valves when the pressure is high. So no valves. Clear now? So the other challenge thing is high concentration of carbon dioxide. So it means it's the pulmonary what? Look at this. All arteries carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. It carries deoxygenated blood. So the answer is B. But it comes from reading, from your knowledge to be able to identify that the answer is B. Otherwise, if you don't know this, you are stuck. But that's not even difficult. Just a matter of reading your notes. Your bio notes there. This is a very important topic for a syllabus that you should be reading and understanding it. The diagram shows a section of through the heart. Which part pumps the blood to the aorta? Which part pumps blood to the aorta? So what do you think? Which part pumps blood to the aorta? So which one? To the aorta is oxygenated blood. So this is deoxygenated blood. Is from the body vena cava to this, it's out. The answer is what? This, the left ventricle pumps blood to the aorta. Clear? Is that clear there? Then you ask maybe, why are we not saying left atrium? I'll explain to you there. Guys, if you can listen to me, I want you to repeat this again. Now, I want to start from your muscles. When your muscles, when you do work, you are always working, whether walking or something, respiration takes what? Takes place. Are you both listening?
Yes, sir.
When respiration takes place, carbon dioxide is what? Is produced. So carbon dioxide mixes with hemoglobin together in your red blood cells to form what is known as deoxygenated blood. Or carboxyl hemoglobin. But this is deoxy, we just call it deoxygenated blood for O level. Then the deoxygenated blood now is diffused into the capillaries. Are we together? Then into the capillaries, they go into the veins. Then the veins carry the deoxygenated blood. Are we together? Then to the main vein is called the vena cava. The vena cava is the one that brings deoxygenated blood here. Hope it's making sense. Then it brings to the right what? Atrium here. This right atrium contracts. When it contracts, it opens this valve. Clear? So that deoxygenated blood moves to what? To the right ventricle. Clear? It's deoxygenated. It has to go to the liver. Then when that happens, this contracts. When it contracts, it closes this valve here. Clear? Then opens this valve. I hope you are listening now. Opens this valve that takes now deoxygenated blood via the pulmonary to where? To the lungs. In the lungs now, there's a gaseous surface called alveoli, in the lungs, okay, for gaseous exchange there. So in the alveoli, this blood reaches, goes to the capillaries. Then now carbon dioxide diffuses out. Then it's replaced by what? By oxygen. So the blood hemoglobin combines with oxygen, forms oxyhemoglobin. That's oxygenated blood. Then now, from these capillaries, now it goes to the pulmonary what? Pulmonary vein. Yeah. Remember I said this is an exception, right? It is oxygenated blood. This pulmonary vein now takes the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the right, to the left atrium. Clear? The left atrium contracts, opens these valves, blood goes into the left ventricle. I hope you're listening. When it goes into the left ventricle like this, the left ventricle contracts, closes this valve, opens this valve. Are you listening? Opens these valves, takes the oxygenated blood to the aorta. Aorta, that's the main artery. Then this aorta distributes oxygenated blood to the different, we are done. That's how the blood, it continues like that. Circulation. It's not difficult. But anyway, you read, you further read, we've got the textbooks. Clear now. Now, the diagram shows a section through a blood vessel in the leg. Blood vessel in the leg. So what can you see? These are valves, without being told. So if they are valves, is that an artery or a vein? Nyasha, if there are valves here, is it an artery or a vein? If there are valves, my question is it an artery or a vein? The blood vessel, without looking at the answers. Is it an artery or a vein? Tanaso? Tanaso, are you in the lesson?
Yes, sir.
So if there is a valve, you can tell that these are valves. My question is it an artery or a vein?
It's an artery, sir.
Oh, no. Did you write notes last time?
Yes, sir.
And did you listen when I was explaining? Was I too fast? Because now we have a serious problem there. If we can't get these basics here, then we've got serious problems in this topic in biology. You struggle. And that's a very key topic there. I actually explained slowly here for both of you, and Nyasha quiet, which means you're not listening. Or I don't know maybe I'm too fast. I even explained. Okay. Now let's revise what we have just said. Let's start afresh. What did you say about arteries? Arteries carry what? Can you tell me without looking at your book? Arteries carry what? Do they carry oxygenated blood or that's what I'm asking? Without looking at your book.
Blood.
Arteries carry oxygenated blood. That's what we said. Carry oxygenated blood. Okay. Except what? I said there's an exception. Except what? I forgot it now. Except what?
Except the pulmonary artery.
Yes, except the pulmonary artery. Why am I saying except? Because this one carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. That's what I was explaining on the diagram there. Altogether, it's the only artery that carries deoxygenated blood. It carries from the heart to the lungs. Okay. Then we said all veins carry what? Deoxygenated blood, except what? Pulmonary vein. That's what we said. Pulmonary vein. Why? Because it carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. That's what we said. Makes sense? Then which one did I say has got a small lumen and which one has got a large lumen? Lumen is an opening. I even I even showed you a diagram here like this. I said in an exam you can get something like this. And you're asked which one is the artery, which one is the vein, like this. What did I say about the lumen? Is this opening here?
Arteries.
Arteries have got a what?
A small lumen.
A small lumen. That's what we said. Small lumen. These ones have got a large lumen. And what's the reason? Blood carries high blood at high pressure. This one carries blood at low pressure. No need for a small lumen. Then I talked about valves immediately on that. I even explained, and I said, if you have got a hose pipe, think of a hose pipe like this. If I'm pumping water like this, and water is at high pressure, is there need to have a valve? It's not necessary. Because the reason why I'm having a valve is if I pass through this point, I don't want water to go back here. So this valve closes like this, so that the water will never go back. So it's to do with the veins, because blood is carried at low pressure. Veins have got valves. All veins have got valves to prevent backflow. Maybe I not explained. To prevent backflow of blood, because blood is being pumped with low pressure. So there are so many valves at each stage. When the blood moves, valve closes. As the blood moves, another valve closes. Are we together? Preventing backflow of blood because you die. Are we together there? That's what we said. And there we said no need for valves because blood is being pumped at high pressure. You know. So then the other thing that we mentioned is that because it's under high pressure, this wall here has to be thick elastic wall, to withstand high pressure. That's arteries. To withstand the high pressure. Then these are simply thin walls, thin elastic walls. No need, because blood is under low pressure. Clear now? Hope it makes sense.
Yes, sir.
I won't be asking this again. You have to master that. Now, going back to the question now. So this is straight away a vein. Why? Because I can see a valve here. In which direction? You can tell how is the valve going to close there. Which direction? Is the blood going up? I think that's what they're simply asking there. The direction of flow of blood is up. You can tell that it will close like this. So it's up. The blood is going up. You can tell by the what? By this. Clear now? So it's a vein. The blood is going from Q to P. Clear now? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Not difficult at all. It's not a difficult topic, but it's a topic where you have to know your stuff. Now, which statement is not correct about most veins in the human body? Most veins. So which is not correct? What's the best answer there? Which one is not correct? About most. Which one is correct? Sorry. Oh, sorry. Is most correct? Is correct for most veins. So which one is the correct one?
The valves.
Yes, they have valves. And we said all arteries carry blood towards the heart. Away from the heart is arteries. Clear now?
Yes.
They have valves. Now, the diagram shows a section through the heart. So I said, if you see the side that is thick, you know that is the thick side is always the left side. Clear? So because this is, it means this lower chamber is the left ventricle. Clear? Then this is the right ventricle. Then this is the top chamber. So it's the right atrium. So X, right atrium, left ventricle. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
There, you see, sometimes they're given diagrams. Which component causes clotting? So what causes clotting? We talked about it. We said there are plates
Platelets.
causes blood clotting, and they explain the blood clotting. So this is a what phagocyte, white blood cell. Phagocyte. It's a white blood cell. Huh? Clear? This one there, this one is a red blood cell, disc shaped. Yeah. Red blood cell. This is a lymphocyte. Another white blood cell. And these are your platelets here. Clear? Okay, let's stop there for today. Then we do ICT. So I'm giving you 5 minutes break. So go and read more on this topic. Read the notes, the Bible books that I gave you.